Zelazny might have a run here. He pulls up. 2 laps to go at Auto Club Speedway. What a run this has been. 5 cars out front just dancing around for the lead. Salas back to the bottom. Honeycutt stuck up top. Slide job out of Salas. Crossover out of Honeycutt.
23 showing a big run here. He does.
You see Salas starting to cover it up. He goes up the racetrack. Honeycutt's clear of them both. He shoves it up in front of the 23, gets himself loose. It'll be white flag this time by. Salas down low. Zelazny looking for a hole. Side by side, 3 wide, Coffee in it. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go. Brought to you by Whiplash Sim Cams. Who is going to win the Luke's Playhouse 200? Honeycutt controlling the race. Coffee in second. Tires are aging. Zelazny off the top rope. Got a little bit free. He's going to crash with lights. And yes, wall there. Who knows? Honeycutt, though, leading the race. Can Coffee get a run? He's going to send it. He hits him. Big bump and run. Coffee's gonna try and get away. Can Salas get there? Coffee's gonna crash. Salas is gonna crash. Watch Nick Lights here to the stripe. Salas is gonna do it with no front bumper.
Unbelievable.
Wow. There's the white flag from Barney the Flagman. 1 lap to go at Long Beach. White flag is out, brought to you by Whiplash Sim Cams.
Yeah, can really hold him off. He looked like he's started to gap Cantonio just ever so slightly. Got about half of a second. It's been hovering right around there. Oh, Cantonio really pushing. He's sideways out of turn number 1. But Rayleigh just keeping that car pointed in the right direction. Nice and smooth, able to keep it going. It's going to be tough. Antonio knows that there's not very many chances, even if you can get close enough to him to make a move. So we'll see as they come through 6 and 7, head toward turn 8 onto the backstretch.
Deeper in the field, nothing changing. Lap traffic ahead. It's Kevin Peak and Bradley Alvis right in front of our race leaders down East Seaside Way. and to turn number 9 for the final time. Lap traffic in the way, and Rayleigh goes for it on peak. He sends it into turn 9. He knows he can't wait. He knows he can't give an opportunity to Kevin Cantonio. Cantonio's going to take it anyway, ships it into the hairpin, and Rayleigh's going to get away. Thomas Rayleigh is going to be a race winner in the North American Racing League. A last lap bump and run wasn't enough. This man wins at Long Beach.
Wow, what a finish coming through that hairpin. I thought they were all gonna wad it up. We had lap traffic in there, staying in there.
Ka-chow! It's BRB race day, and I have just one question to ask. Hey, Lightning, you ready? Welcome to Pitstop TV in the virtual loud in New Hampshire. My name is Andrew Cardinale IV with Zach Murtis alongside, and it's a pleasure to join you for coverage of the BRB Sundance Pro Series. Tonight's coverage from New Hampshire for the BRB Race-O-Rama is brought to you by Whiplash Creative, Sundance Pizza, MX Wraps, and the BRB Racing League. I'm excited. This is going to be a fun one. This is multiple seasons in the making, several seasons in the making at this point in time. We have been working with BRB to set up a Cars movie themed race. If you saw the logo there at the beginning, well, this is it. We have worked with a bunch of drivers to have some Cars themed paint schemes, and we're going to jump right into it with a couple that I think are pretty special. You see the track map and stuff there. We're going to go right into driver interviews because they have a driver's meeting to get to here shortly. There's a look at practice times at the moment. But we'll, of course, circle back on everything else with Coulter Clark as our first driver to talk to this evening. Fresh off his win at Dover just a week ago. Let's go ahead and talk with Coulter, who is in a, well, we have a lot of paint schemes to go over. Here's one of them, and Coulter Clark is in the Jackson Storm Special, and that is why I want to go ahead and bring him in first. Not only is Coulter, well, there we go, Discord's cooperating finally. Not only is Coulter Clark working on somewhat of a villain arc here in the BRB Sundance Pro Series, but also Coulter, that paint scheme, of course, dominated Cars 3, kind of shoved McQueen out of the Piston Cup, and if you want to go with all of that, you're kind of like a new talent that has just gotten so much faster this season, it feels like. And, of course, you got the win at Dover last week. Does that kind of feel like it's resonating with you a little bit? Like you've suddenly picked something up? You're right at the top of the field?
Oh, yeah. I definitely feel like we got some good momentum going our way right now. I feel like just overall the transition to Blackbird and the stronger alliance with Mavericks really helped. I know a lot of those guys have really helped me grow as a driver, and just generally have given me more speed week in and week out. You know, I feel more confident to come out and run at the front of the field every week. So yeah, just gonna try to keep the momentum up, and you know, it's a big thing in racing, and you know, I'm really feeling it right now.
That momentum is a big piece of racing, as you mentioned. I think that's half or more of the mental aspect, just trying to keep yourself in the game. So, of course, with that win last week at Dover, this is another mile track up in the Northeast. You might feel good about it, maybe, specifically at this racetrack coming off that win a week ago. Is that kind of playing into things at all for you?
Yeah, no, you know, just gonna come out here and just do the same thing I did last week, you know, just come out here, run my race, and try and end up in victory lane again, you know. Flatter tracks aren't really my, you know, cup of coffee, but I definitely wouldn't count myself out of a chance to walk away with something here.
And Coulter, of course, in that Jackson Storm paint scheme, right? I think that's probably the Cars movie that you grew up with a little close, maybe Cars 2. Like, I know you're a little bit younger. Does it mean anything extra to have this kind of Cars race, all these Cars paint schemes, and be racing against them all tonight? And in one of them that, I mean, we would expect to win.
It's cool. It's fun to see, you know, all the different kinds of cars, you know. I've never been a part of anything like this, so yeah, just watching everybody drive by and, you know, oh, I remember that car. It's kind of cool.
It's more than cool. I really enjoy that so many got on board with this. Coulter, thanks for doing so as well. Best of luck tonight. We'll be watching for car 4.
All right, thank you, Andrew.
Looking around the field just a little bit, you can see some of these other paint schemes on the racetrack. Again, this is the BRB Race-O-Rama. This is something we've been wanting to do for a while. A bunch of Cars movie-themed paint schemes. And there is one that I think stands a little bit above the rest, and that is, there you go, the number 5, not the number 95, but the number 5 tonight. Adam Buzzio channeling your inner Lightning McQueen for this. I mean, this is pretty cool, right? We got most of the field, I honestly, so many more people than I ever imagined signed up for this. Cars, paint schemes. It's got to feel pretty cool to load in the one that you're in specifically, the red, the yellow. That's got to feel cool.
It's super cool, man. Yeah, I know. I'm really, really grateful for all the drivers who participated and everybody who helped make paints for this. Super appreciative of you. You really, led the charge with this whole theme idea and kind of helped everybody get their paints picked and made sure we didn't have 15 Lightning McQueens running around out there. So it was super cool to go out and track and kind of look at from the blimp and see all the different cars. And, they're all such kind of classic throwbacks to at least my childhood because I'm old. Not my childhood because I'm old, but yeah, so it's super, super cool. And obviously I'm partial to Lightning McQueen, so cool. Pretty cool that I get to run this car tonight.
And of course, we could talk about the movie stuff all day long, but let's get down to business. Of course, Coulter won at Dover last week, kind of cutting into what you regulars, you longtime BRB guys have been doing lately. And looking at Speedway stats, 44 Speedway starts for you. That's tied. Well, your average finish is tied for 6th, by the way, of drivers who have more than 5 starts. 8.1 average finish. So inside the top 10, you've got a few wins on these tracks. 8% of your laps run have been led by you. Do you feel like this is kind of in your wheelhouse, or maybe not this week, looking for maybe a mile and a half possibly?
Yeah, I love short flat tracks. For whatever reason, I have really not been able to figure this place out in the ARCA car. I was really competitive here the last time we were here in the next gen, but I think for us to be up there tonight, we're probably going to have to get some good luck. Goal tonight is definitely just survive, stay clean, and try to bring it home in one piece, but we'll try to take advantage of what we can and capitalize.
Well, hey, I know you're trying to get that driver's meeting going. I'll let you get to it. Best of luck tonight. I'm looking for that 5 car to be up front.
Hey, guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate you.
And actually, I'm going to hold you captive really quick. We need a ka-chow before you leave.
Ka-chow!
There we go. That all is right in the world. Best of luck, Adam.
Thanks, buddy.
There you go. We got a ka-chow, Zach, as I know you've joined the broadcast booth, and it's good to talk with these drivers, obviously, right before they go racing this evening, right before they go and do business. But let's look around, right? We've got so much we can talk about, but the theme obviously is these paint schemes and how cool this is. So, Zach, what do you say we do best in show a little bit early tonight?
Works for me. I'm down for it. Let's bring it on.
We have a lot to go through. A lot of paint schemes. Here's the one for Johnny Wood Jr. This is Johnny Blamer from the Cars movie universe. Don't mind the fonts. For whatever reason, Adobe didn't want to work. Might go for a reset mid-race. But Johnny Wood Jr. there, the number 75. We've also got Scott Fritz. This is the revolting number 48. It was the 84 in the Cars universe until later on. This is a cool paint scheme. I worked on this myself, and I'm very, very happy with it. It definitely took a lot more work than I realized at first when I signed up for it. Cody Smith and the Dale Earnhardt Jr. number 8. I mean, number 1 in this case. Fantastic. Hard to beat. Well, I'd say hard to beat. Hard to beat as far as the nostalgia factor, Zach, but there are, I think, cooler paint schemes out here. I don't recall the name or the number of this car for Richard Wolsifer, but I know it is from the Cars universe, kind of one of the filler characters. Obviously, Jackson Storm colors here for Coulter Clark. That's hard to beat.
Richard said which one it was. Hang on a second.
It's in the pit stop server somewhere, but to keep on going, we have the Octane Gain, number 17 for Ronnie Norman, and this...
Chip Gearings.
There you go, Chip Gearings for Richard Wolsifer. This is one that I actually really like, because it has the Cars Universe logos on it, the Octane Gain, vitamins there on the side. Brendan Maddox also in the Cal Weathers colors, the Dynaco, what would have been the number 42 in the Cars Universe 23 here. I tried to get him to change the font, he wouldn't do it. But what do you know? And this is a good one too. Caden Perkins was the Leak Less number 52. He of course did his own spin on it, and that's fantastic.
What about the one behind him?
That is a really good take on it. Hang on, we're getting there. So here's the number 5. Adam Buzzio, we saw him. Lightning McQueen colors, that's hard to beat, obviously. Francesco Bernoulli here for Jake Christenberry. They haven't changed his name yet. Jake Christenberry, Francesco Bernoulli. On down the line, here's the Spearmint number 35. Trying to find a good look at it for Sam Dyer. We actually have that diecast here at the house. It's number 93 in the Cars universe. Kevin Baumler, the number 10. This is Again, kind of a filler character. That's okay. We got to have him. Then I'm actually really happy with this one, Zach. Jourdain wanted me to change some stuff on it, but we ran out of time. This is a Shu Todoroki paint scheme. In the back of it, you see the TV panel there, Zach? It's in Japanese. You want to guess what it says?
For someone who doesn't watch anime, you're asking someone who watches a lot of anime if he knows Japanese, and I can say, unfortunately, I don't.
No, I know 100% you watch dubbed. Anyway, Jourdain White's car says, on the back there, it says, ciao, everyone else, as Francesco Bernoulli had ciao McQueen on the back of his. Anyway, car's reference. I like this car. The spec map is doing some work on it. Here is Stephen Borbell in the number 2. This is a nod to Mario Andretti. Zach Maddox out there, Cruz Ramirez. This is fantastic. The spec map is really well done. I'm looking for this thing to shine. Eric Jensen, you've got the king out there, the number 99. Strip Weathers, that's obviously a classic. Jamie Plord not participating, that's okay. Jeff Gorvette for Jacob Quayle. Yes. It's I want to give a big shout out actually to Caden Perkins. He really did the meat and potatoes of this paint. I just slapped some logos on it, so a big thank you to Caden Perkins for allowing us to use that. Here is Leroy Hemming. The number 300, the rookie racer that gets into it with Doc Hudson. Here's that paint scheme for Kyle Crank. Yes, in Cars 3, yes. So kind of a old school one there. We looked at Sam Dye already. Tyler Wren, you missed it. Oh, man. Here's the Synergy. Well, was the Synergy number 5 for Ben Kinney. He's got his number 41 on it. This was a doozy to work on. I think it's going to look good, though, across the racetrack. Of course, Robert Moyer Jr., he's out there in his usual paint scheme. Carl Pooler, I kind of like this one. This is the official Pace Truck paint scheme from the Cars universe, so I like that a lot. We also... Oh, look at this. The Gogo Logano NASCAR collab that was done a couple years ago for Josh Parent. I really enjoyed working on this. I'm a Logano fan just like he is, so it was pretty cool to work on a Logano movie car kind of thing, and it's got a cool spec map on it. That gold really glints in the sun nicely, the red as well, so I'm happy with that. On down the line, Cody Dorsey. Oh, he didn't do one. Dakota Bly did, though, and this... I like this one.
Think, that's the Radiator Springs variant of Lightning McQueen when he started going around and getting all the shops back up and running at the end of the first Cars movie. That's a really good paint scheme. I love how the spec map reflects off of it, Andrew.
It is a good one. Going to be hard to beat for Best in Show. I'm told to refresh Trading Paints. We're going to do that here in just a second. But I also want to look at the point standings coming into tonight. Then we'll finish up Best in Show during qualifying here. So point standings coming into this evening. Of course, the chase is still far away, Zach, but kind of taking a look at the gaps around the chase cutoff right now, you see it's actually tied. Cam Taylor, Gray Walker right on that line. And I don't put too much stock in any of this yet. This is still so early in the season. Caden Perkins could make it. Coulter Clark might not. It's so early. Anything still can change on this graphic. So here's a look at the point standings, but I don't think we're going to be talking too much about them here tonight. On down the line, I know one that we did not get to yet was the 81 of Evan Matenko. He's not on track yet. We also didn't see the 00 yet. I did previously in the session. There is the 00 for Dustin Stallings, and this is based on the number 28 Nitro 8 car.
Gonna say that car looks so familiar. I know exactly which one it was, but I didn't remember who the character's name was because I had that car.
I don't know all the names. I don't know all the names, but the sponsors and stuff I got you there. William Maple, does he have one? No, that's okay. Wood Brothers, we gotta have a couple guys, I guess, stuck out, and that's okay.
NASCAR throwbacks are good because Cars was a NASCAR movie. You know,
it still works.
Saying.
Well, Zach, because I can't talk. As these guys qualify, who you got for Best in Show this evening with all the cars, paint schemes on the racetrack?
My first definitive pick is going to be Jason Bottoms with the
Jason Bottoms.
Radiator Springs I think it was Jason. What? Dakota Bly. Oh my goodness, excuse me.
Say Jason's not in the season this season.
Dakota Bly in the Lightning McQueen Radiator Springs variant. That is blissfully perfect for me. It'd look better if you didn't have a spoiler, because McQueen didn't have his spoiler on, but you kind of need that for downforce. I am very, very on edge for my second pick because there are a lot of really good paint schemes out there. I am at an impasse. We all want to make fun of me for using improper grammar. I'm pretty sure I used that word right. I'm at an impasse between Zach Maddox and, honestly, Adam Buzzio. I'm a big kind of main character bandwagon type kind of guy, so McQueen is a character that no, for the sake of it, I'm going with Zach Maddox, Cruz Ramirez.
Fair enough. That's a fantastic one. I don't know if he's still on track. He's not, but we did see it briefly, and it is a good one. I'm going to make you all wait on my next pick because qualifying is wrapping up. We'll do that on the grid, but cars on the racetrack qualifying. Here's a look at Cody Smith. I've got him on my fantasy team. Do you? There's still time to play the fantasy if you're in the Pit Stop TV server, a couple minutes at least, to get your picks in before we lock those down for the evening. Evan Batinko, he's on track. Look at this. It's so simple that I love it. It's so simple I love it so much. It is the Mac iCar, number 81 for Evan Batinko. Yes, there was actually an Apple car in Cars 1, if you go back and watch, and in the Cars universe in general. Steve Jobs was involved in founding Pixar, so it just made sense at the time, certainly, to put the Apple brand in the movie. Well, these guys are working on wrapping up qualifying. Jordan White. Oh, here's this one. I want to look at the spec map. I'm pretty happy with this, Zach.
I like it. It looks good. There's a lot of great choices, Andrew. I feel like this is our hardest picks for Best in Show.
Would it be short-sighted of me to nominate this one?
No, I don't think so.
I'm gonna do it. We're gonna put up the 83, but I'm gonna make you wait on our final pick for Best in Show today.
Just a quick reminder for all the people at home watching tonight, we will have a couple extra pace laps. That's something we'll get into, I think, as we roll out of qualifying, go into the starting grid, but there will be, per race control, a couple extra laps at the start of the race to sort out some penalties from weeks previous.
And there's a look at the number 44 for Brady Motes, 8th quick in qualifying. By the way, Stallings will take pole. Christenberry 2nd, then Fritz, Wood, and Smith your top 5. Clark, White, Motes, Maddox, and Wolsifer the rest of the top 10. Zach Maddox has actually out-qualified Brendan Maddox. Kevin Baumler to the top.
Wow.
Hey, he started last night's NOR race at Richmond from pole, led 110 laps. Could he do the same here tonight? He goes to the top of the order right at the end of qualifying, and that will wrap things up for us in qualifying. Still a little more to go through. Here's a look at the schedule for this season. Daytona, Dover, New Hampshire here this evening. Next up for these guys, Mexico City. We have a week off from points racing. It's a better half race next week. And then road course racing, Mexico City. I'm excited. They get a week reprieve from turning right at Texas. Then it's right back to Daytona road course. Then Indianapolis and Iowa. And Rockingham the first half of the schedule. So this season moving quickly along, Zach, as we are already in week number 3. Well, cars are hitting the grid, and I said I'd wait for the grid to do my other pick for Best in Show. So we're going to look through. I'm kind of deciding live. I do really like what I did with the 48 car, but I'm going to move on. I'm trying not to pick one that I painted. I already did that with Jordan White's number 83. I do really like this, though, Zach.
I really like that 44 car. I was actually eyeballing it in qualifying.
Really big fan of what's going on there. Richard did a great job adapting his sponsors and stuff. I mean, there are so many. Honestly, you know what? I'm going to give it right here to Caden Perkins. He helped me out on the 25, so I'll give him a nod. Caden Perkins, the leakless paint scheme that was adapted over to his own colors here. It's really good. And you know what? I don't think we even saw. Did we see the 42? Oh, its paint scheme isn't on. He didn't get it uploaded. Oh, that was supposed to be the Hudson Hornet for Cameron Taylor. Oh, unfortunate. Man. That is unfortunate. Big time. Well, this was a contender as well. But I painted that one, and I didn't want to do too many of my own. for best in show, but we honestly might even have to do 2. Zach, do you think that's fair? I mean, we do 2 of them.
Who? Wait. What?
You think we should do 2? 2 best in show votes?
We could. I mean,
let's think about it when we go through the grid.
What we could do is we could do an overall vote. We could do 2 runoff votes and overall vote, but that might get a little complicated.
Let's think about it when we hit the grid. We do have 32 cars here this evening on pole. How about Kevin Baumler in that number 10 car? I am so surprised by this, but there he is on pole. Big time starting spot for Kevin. He'll start alongside season 4 champ Dustin Stallings. Back in row number 2, how about Jake Christenberry alongside Scott Fritz? Row 3 gives us Johnny Wood Jr. and Cody Smith. Row 4, Coulter Clark and Jordan White. And back to complete your top 10, Brady Motes and Zach Maddox.
Just outside the top 10, Richard Wolsifer and Brendan Maddox. They'll be starting in row number 6, 11th, and 12th on the grid. Right behind them, in the 13th spot, behind that number 56 car, that is, you'll find Josh Parent. And to his outside is going to be Caden Perkins. That's the 22 and the 6 lining up in row number 7. Jacob Quayle and Eric Jensen line up in row number 8, 15th and 16th on the starting grid, with 17th and 18th on the starting grid being made up by Adam Buzzio and Stephen Borbell. Looking for them to show a little bit more prowess up towards the front of the field. Ronnie Norman and Cody Dorsey, they're going to end up rounding out your top 20.
And your final 12, William Maple Jr. alongside Kyle Klenk. Back in row number 12, it is Jamie Plord alongside Gray Walker. How about Evan Batinko and Carl Pooler? A little farther back, you'll find Dakota Bly and Dan Stockera, 27th and 28th. And to complete your top 30, Cameron Taylor and Sam Dyer, with Robert Moyer Jr. and Ben Kinney at the back of the grid. Whiplash SimCam's race details look like this: 160 laps, 160 miles. The stage will be complete at the end of lap 50. That'll give us 110 to the end. 4 change sets, 70% fuel. Fixed setup racing here this evening. It's all the same as per usual from there. Weather conditions here quickly. Here's a look at them to complete your MX Wraps pre-race show. 77 degrees in the air, 91 on track. Decently low humidity, partly cloudy skies. Let's turn the music down, Zach, and turn the engines up. The iRacing.com safety car heading to the relative safety of pit lane, and this time off of turn 4, the BRB Race-O-Rama is underway. Clear through turns 1 and 2. Already a good start for these guys. This is a very tricky racetrack. Clean through the opening couple of corners. That's good, as Kevin Baumler a little slow to get the race started. Lap 1 will go complete this time by pit stops. Baumler one of them. I'm surprised by that, actually. This is going to be penalties for several drivers. Baumler, Clark,
penalties,
and Perkins, followed by Ben Kinney, Cameron Taylor, and Robert Moyer Jr. I didn't realize quite all of those guys had penalties. I knew a handful would. That's going to be huge for some of these guys. I'm pretty sure somebody had 2 pass-throughs to do. Anyways, lap 2 complete this time by.
3 wide off of turn number 4. Most to the inside of Zach Maddox. I almost got a little hair raising right there, as Brendan Maddox is going to force that car through the middle. Lots of shakeups throughout the field. You can see the wide angle showcasing everything going on. There's Robert Moore Jr. He just came out of pit road.
Battle for first,
comes the leader.
Battle for the lead. Robert Moyer Jr. ahead. Spinner into the attenuator. Richard Wolsifer right into the pit barrels. It has been a dismal start to this season for car 56. The car looks okay, honestly.
It does. Those attenuators are pretty soft, so.
Had Brennan Maddox to the inside. You see.
Jourdain.
Yeah, Jourdain didn't serve his pass through the first time around. I knew he had one. And, you know, that just caused problems there. Everybody else did at lap 1. I'm not sure why you would wait till lap 2. And then he's...
Look at Jourdain just up in front.
He was
and
trying to get low. Brady Motes was going lower, so Jourdain really had to check out big time. And, you know, the drivers around you were expecting it to be lap 1 that you served that, not lap 2.
It's definitely a hard call there, because Jourdain definitely needed to serve that penalty. Now, regardless of that, Andrew, and I'm going to be devil's advocate here, it's not the matter of they're expecting you to serve that lap 1, it's that you need to be expecting that throughout the first 3 laps. Because that penalty can be served within the first 3 laps at any point before the car is disqualified from point scoring. So,
Well, here's the thing, Zach.
I feel like you can... Well, hold on. Let me finish on this one. I feel like you can fault it both ways. You can fault Jourdain for not getting to the bottom and pitting in a timely manner and in a responsible manner, but you could also fault Brendan Maddox a little bit for just getting in there. It's harder to place blame on Brendan, I will say, but it's a complicated situation.
Here's the problem I have with all of that. If you are Jourdain White, I think the argument would be, well, he was trying to pit the second lap so that he wasn't in all the hubbub on the first lap. That's all fine and dandy. But you also have to make sure that you are able to serve your penalty, or you've just put yourself to the back of the field and potentially 1 lap down and still have to serve the penalties. And in this case, that's exactly what happened. Jourdain tried to serve it there, but that wasn't a full run through the pit lane, so he's still got to serve it again. And I think he has 2 to serve.
Might be
So
right, actually.
I understand you want to try from a competition aspect to help yourself, but you also have to make sure that you can serve the penalty. And if you serving it a lap later is going to be more disruptive to the field and cause a caution, that is counterintuitive. It's kind of like self-preservation in a battle. Sure, you want to get that position, but you have to make sure that you don't crash. And sometimes you have to give that spot up in order to not crash and survive the rest of the race. That's me. Racing smarter, not harder. You've got to make sure you stay in the race to win the race. Same thing here. You've got to make sure that you can serve the penalty for it to actually count. Otherwise, you're penalizing yourself a 3rd time. So that's my take on it. Here we go. Restart coming around. Let's try to get this thing going once again. Cody Smith right on the back bumper of Scott Fritz into turn 1. Restarts here. It's not quite like Pocono, Zach, but it's in the same vein. I'll tell you what, in a sea of red at the front of the field in these paint schemes, it is cool to see the yellow, the gold even, from the 22 of Parent. And Brady Motes continues to work that apron way down low. He is finding something down there, and he likes it.
Yeah, well, I hate to break it to you, though, Andrew. He's going to find it for probably about another 10 laps or so before that right side of his race car is going to start stepping out on him, because he is not using the banking. He's not able to conserve tires like everyone else. You can see that car already stepping out. He's going to burn that right rear off real quick. He's already going backwards, too.
And there's a battle ahead of him. Johnny Wood Jr. alongside Jake Christenberry. That a battle for 3rd. But up front, Scott Fritz has taken the race lead. One thing we didn't cover under that caution, Zach, was the pit stop from Dustin Stallings. By the way, it seems to have been a stop and hold for Jourdain. He is still in the pit lane.
That's going to be 2 laps down for the 83 car already. He's only got 2 other cars behind him. That's
Is it
Taylor
a minute
and Moyer.
hold?
They are, it might be. 55 seconds.
He's been in there for a long time, and let's see if at 60 he rolls. Yeah, a minute hold. That is huge. So he has gone
big.
2, almost 3 laps down. He's in turn 1. Here come the leaders down the front stretch. That is going to be huge for Jourdain White, and a difficult hole to crawl out of. Robert Moyer Jr. also 3 laps down. He's in the pit lane. He seems to be done for the day. Unsure what's going on for the number 16. Cameron Taylor also lapped. He is 2 laps down. Not sure exactly what happened to him. Maybe a complication with serving the penalty the first go-around. But out front, it is Scott Fritz, Cody Smith, and Johnny Wood Jr., your top 3. Moats is still working down low, Zach, but he's starting to slide backwards.
Yeah, he's getting real loose on that bottom line, and it's starting to cost him. He has started to go very far backwards. He's lost about 3 or 4 spots. Now he's going to potentially lose another one here to Steven Borbell down on that bottom line. The outside line is good for defense. It powers off really well. Borbell falls back in line behind the 44. Oh, wow, look at him step out.
Moat's working all the way down low. Borbell loose. I do like that we're seeing a handful of different lines already. I know it's early in the race still, but it seems like the racetrack is decently opened up to be able to run, multiple different ways. And that's always a good thing, right? Anytime you have multiple options on how a driver can run a racetrack, that's a good thing.
We'll have to ask Brady at some point in time what his strategy is, because he is sideways down below that white line. Riding on board, though, with Adam Buzzio as he chases down Josh Parent for the 5th spot, breaking himself into the top 5 for the first time. And the caution is out for the 2nd time today, as Wolfsburg goes quickest and Plord is around on the front stretch.
Yeah, it's going to be the 38 car, so 6.5 Motorsports. They've got 2 in 1st and 3rd. But as you see damage for the Cruz Ramirez machine of Zach Maddox, he may have also been involved in this. That is a shame. That is a very close contender if we do a second best in show, and I think we might. And boy, he has got a bunch of damage here early. This is maybe an unrelated thing actually for him.
This looks like it was laps ago.
Yeah, and it was. Here he is, loose off of turn 4, gets into Caden Perkins. Ooh. And that was that. So Perkins took a big hit out of that too. But his car looks okay.
That didn't bring out the yellow though.
No,
Perkins
this was
kept on going.
Laps ago.
Everyone kept it straight.
Here comes the moment for Jamie Plord.
So he's racing in front of Coulter Clark. There's Brendan Maddox and Dustin Stallings running next to each other behind Kyle Clank. So we've got quite a few cars relatively close to each other. Looks like Plord looks to go around the outside of Maddox. Clark sends it in. I thought Clark was going to make some contact, but it might be up in front. Oh, a squeeze.
And so that's why I said it's not quite Pocono, Zach, but it is very similar, because you get exactly that, right? Where on restarts, even the laps following, when everybody's bunched up, it's easy to get 3 wide and not know it. Even 4 wide. And we get so many different lines. It's kind of like turn 3 onto the front stretch. They were right here. They get stacked 4 wide. That's why Coulter gets into the 38. They were just really far offset, staggered, if you will, but they got 4 wide, and it just all went wrong. Now, as this goes on, there's a comment in the YouTube chat that has made my heart happy. And, of course, I've been very open about the fact that I've got a son, Andrew Cardinelli the 5th. He's 3. He loves cars. Everything about cars. And I'll be honest, it's a little emotional, Zach. I've been wanting to do this for a couple of seasons. I mean, really since we started up with BRB. And we finally have a themed race. And Kayla in the YouTube chat commenting, I see Lightning McQueen. That's what Drew said. And then it's Cruz, and there is Cal. And, I mean, he knows all the characters. He knows them all. That's his thing. So again, look through some of them. There's the Dale Jr., number 1 of Cody Smith. He might not know all of these. He should know that one, hopefully. I mean, well, maybe not, because it's not an open wheel car, but that's Francesco Bernoulli. Here, he should have a ball with this one. McQueen on the screen.
Andrew Colley 5th.
Yeah, he's still working on the proper pronunciation of the last name. That's okay. We'll give him time. Here's Cal. Here's Cal Weathers. He should like that one. Honestly, by the way, I did half want to do this themed race just so Kayla has an easier time managing Drew out there while we broadcast. There's Jackson Storm, the number 4, Coulter Clark. Boy, we've got a bunch here. Zach Maddox, the 14. Cruz Ramirez. So cool. So cool. Honestly, thank you so much. I haven't really had a chance to be sentimental yet, but thank you so much to everybody who has participated in this, gotten a paint scheme done, or done a paint scheme. This is cool. Green flag on the way. Let's try it again. Oh. These guys are getting racy to turn 1 on restart, Zach. Look at that. Johnny Wood Jr. 2 second, trying to get it anyways from Cody Smith. He's got it down the backstretch, but not by much. Here comes McQueen. He gets a shot.
Side by side all throughout the field. Parent on the inside of Buzzio. That's your first side-by-side battle behind the fight for second. Now turning into the fight for third. Well, back to the fight for second. Johnny is really rotating well through the center of the corner, down on the bottom. He's got a great handle on race car. He's doing what he can with it to keep it in contention. I do want to bring up the fact, though, Buzzio and Borbell, they have made up some ground.
They have.
Since the start of the race. We are on to lap 20, as there's some blocking going on back there. Richard Wolsifer and Brendan Maddox are getting into it. They are 3 wide underneath Borbell and Moats. Getting a little dicey, a little tight.
Remember,
good.
It was Maddox and Wolsifer in that caution a couple of cautions ago. 23 into the 56 car, and nearly contact there. Wolsifer dives it up underneath. Brady Moats, contact now between them. Super
nose
racy.
Damage?
I think so. Some door banging. These guys are, I think, getting a little frustrated with one another. I have 2 more cars I want to point out quickly for the younger ones, the younger crowd. There is King, or Eric Jensen in this case. Strickweathers even.
Strickweathers.
There you go. And then we also have Radiator Springs Lightning McQueen. Look at that. That is a beaut. That Dakota really outdid himself there. It's all sparkly too. That really is cool.
I think there are some really cool obscure paint schemes that we might have missed. Through, not even the, I'm talking ones that are not in this race.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Like the Radiator Springs variant of McQueen at the end of the First Cars movie, not during the heyday stuff.
Well, that's like the one that Dakota's running.
Oh, I thought, no, was it?
You need to go review the movie, buddy. Believe me, I've got a 3-year-old. I got you on this one. But the other one, there's one more. I promise, and then we will get back to coverage. Here's the 25. I know Drew loves Jeff Gordon. There is Jeff Gorvette. And Jacob Quayle, actually, he's in the top 20. He's got a great view of everything happening ahead. There you see Calvin Baumler on the inside. You see Kevin Baumler on the inside of Eric Jensen. Now the battle for stage points, it is lively right here. Look at this, 3 wide, Moats up the inside. He's trying to take spots away from Gogo Logano. How about Josh Parent in the middle there? Stephen Borbell currently the final car to have stage points. The 22 trying to change that. Stallings, by the way, he pitted under that caution. It looks like for fuel only, but he got some fuel back on the racetrack, so he is down in 12th, trying to move back through this field.
Lots of big-time contenders throughout the field, Andrew. I think we're in for one heck of a race. Now, the thing that's been floating around with these guys making their comeback to New Hampshire was how much of a meme it was, I guess, the last race, because there were lots of wrecks, there were drivers all over the place. That was when they were oh no! Spin in front spec! Brady Moats, Adam Buzzio! Nope, Josh Parent, excuse me. Why did I say Adam Buzzio?
Problems here for the 44 and the 22. There's Parent on the outside, loose on his own, comes down into the 44, and both of those guys, heavy damage. It's always a tough pill to swallow, right? When you get loose on your own and take somebody with you, that is difficult.
There, it looks like most just came up the racetrack into the 22.
No, are you kidding me?
From the camera perspective.
Watch the 22. He's free. This will be a head-on view down the front stretch. This will show it too. Watch this off the corner. The 22 is a little free. Loose. I mean, he was sideways. Regardless, both cars have damage. So to pass up the semantics part of this, both cars have damage, and parents left rear. These cars aren't supposed to have rear steer, Zach. That is...
Sorry, I was listening to race control there.
Awful lot of rear steer in that left rear, looking like a monster truck. Monster Jam paint schemes. I just had a great idea.
Race control has made the ruling, and they are going to rule that the 44 was at fault for the incident. Per race control, the 44 got loose, came up into the 22, and collected him down the racetrack.
Really?
Yes. And I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate here, and I'm gonna point out where I think Rev is. Look at the 44. Tips of grass. You can see that the 44 is snapping sideways. I went back and took a look at it myself as well. He comes up the racetrack. That's why I said the camera perspective paints a picture there, because it kind of makes it look like the 44 is already coming up the racetrack, which he is. And I feel like it was a more so meet in the middle type deal, but it was definitely a mess.
I mean, there's tire tracks from the 22. He's sideways. Well, I went too far here. Watch the 22 off the corner. There's tire tracks. He is sideways.
I see what you're talking about, but I also...
At the very least, chalk it up to a racing deal like we do half the other incidents. That doesn't make any sense to me. Drivers, I don't care who you are, do not message me in the middle of a race telling me you're gonna junk one of my cars. Zach, here's a restart.
Back to green flag. Oh, contact on the restart. Scott Fritz is going around into the outside wall. And that's going to bring out an instant yellow off the restart on lap number 30. And there is damage to quite a few cars as everyone spreads out.
Well, let's see what happened here. Things are getting busy, huh?
Everyone's spreading out after the caution flag, and this will look back at the restart. Fritz didn't get going. There's a stack up on the bottom. See Fritz coming down a little bit to cover it off, and that's a very close meet in the middle type deal. You see the damage to the one car and the big damage to the 48. That's going to be a tough call right there for race control. This is coming back into the restart zone. Again, you see Fritz had a little trouble going. Oh no, Andrew. That's a hard line to call. Cody Smith was there. Or excuse me. Well, no, he was there. Cody Smith was there. Fritz was on the outside. I feel like that's just a hard
tell you
call
what,
for
Zach,
race control.
I've got a fantastic idea. We will leave race control to figure it out, and instead take a look at power rankings. Brendan Maddox on top. Things have changed. Zach Hall, of course, has not run the first couple of races of the season. He's part-time. He grabbed the championship and went part-time. Hey, fair enough. Brendan Maddox now on top. Adam Buzzio, Coulter Clark. That's your new top 3. Johnny Wood Jr. moved up a good bit. You see all the green position changes there from Brendan, Adam, Coulter, Johnny, and Josh. Jordan White now. He's at the top 10 of the power rankings. And, of course, you see Zach Hall, Scott Fritz, Steven Warba all dropped after Dover last week. This is going to change a whole lot more. Of course, we're more than halfway through stage 1, so we are getting very close to the end of this. And what I've decided we're going to do, Zach, we are going to have our normal first best in show vote, and then do it again for the next 50. So, as Jake Christenberry brings us back to the green flag, here we go. You've got 16, 17 more laps to vote for best in show, round 1.
Brendan Maddox on the attack, Andrew. He was able to time the restart really well, put that 23 car down to the bottom. And Dynaco has a winning way over there. Well, unless your name's Cal Weathers. But hey, he's out in front with Brendan Maddox right now.
Brendan Maddox, Cal Weathers to the lead. Ronnie Norman follows. Wolsifer, Christenberry. Oh, Francesco Bernoulli. He's having trouble getting used to those fenders. Look at this. Francesco Bernoulli, Lightning McQueen, Jackson Storm about to go 3 wide at New Hampshire.
Wasn't there a whole thing about fenders and in the cars? I feel like it was adult jokes, man, that went right over kids' heads.
I don't know that it's a joke necessarily.
Well, didn't you have the part at the end of the movie? Or wasn't, hold on. No, Sally and Flo were, I don't know. I'm talking out my butt right now.
Coulter Clark battling with Johnny Wood Jr. This is a battle for 7th, so well inside the points-paying positions for the stage. Kevin Baumler is 10th. That's the final driver in for stage points. How about this, Zach? I don't think I expected this at all. Eric Jensen is on the cusp of grabbing top 10 points for stage 1. He very well could do it.
Dynaco blue, baby. Dynaco blue.
I think Kayla has got the adult joke you were thinking of figured out, Zach, and I'll just direct you to YouTube chat and leave it at that. No fenders involved. No fenders involved.
Wrong one. Wrong joke. That didn't even cross my mind. I was thinking Cars 2.
Well, while you research Cars history, battle for 2nd, Ronnie Norman, Richard Wolsifer, did you think, what, 30 laps ago when Wolsifer and Maddox made contact, they'd be 1st and 3rd if Wolsifer trying to get the 2nd spot away from Ronnie Norman? Because this is not what I expected.
No sirree, Bob. I think the top 10 has really changed its hands a little bit more. You've got Maddox, Norman, and Wolsifer your top 3. Then Buzzio and Christenberry your top 5. How about the car in 8th and 9th, though? You've got Johnny Wood Jr. and William Maple Jr. I saw William Maple was in 8th. I guess Johnny just passed him, but Williams up there running in the top 10. He has got some good potential to get some stage points going. You've got Kevin Baumler right behind him coming back after starting on the pole. I mean, this is shaping up to be a really interesting race now. You've got a few normals up at the front, a few guys that we see more in the mid-pack running up front. It's the Race-O-Rama jam, you know? All comers. I'm trying to think of a quote from the Race-O-Rama video game. It's where my head's going.
Well, I'll tell you what, Best in Show is looking very good for Dakota Bly, and it makes sense. But get your votes in. Not a lot of time left to do it. as off the corner. Look at this. Battle for the lead. Ronnie Norman right to the left rear of Brendan Maddox for position number 1. And Ronnie's going to take it right away. Ronnie Norman to the point, and the number 17. 8 laps to go in stage 1, this time by
mostly single file throughout the field now. See Maddox running a bit of a higher line to cut low, get a better exit off the corner. Now the 2 cars that made contact earlier on in the race, Andrew, you talked about it. The 23 and the 56. They are well and truly close together. Working on a battle for second as Norman's trying to drive away. Buzzio sitting there waiting in the wings to see if he can go up there, and he'll show why Lightning McQueen wins so many races. It would be poetic if one of the Lightning McQueen cars spun through the grass and saved it. I'm just saying.
Six laps to go this time by in stage number 1. Battle for the final spot in stage point, Zach. I'm sorry, look at this. Sorry to change directions on you, change gears, but I saw this in timing and scoring. Kyle Klenk, we haven't seen a lot of him lately, Zach, but go back to season 5, the first handful of races, and we thought he was breaking down the door on a win maybe. He hasn't done so yet. Could tonight be, you know, the beginning of him getting things righted? He's 11th, looking for a stage point here.
It's a really good run off turn number 4. He might not be looking for very much longer. He might be ready to take it. It's a little early into the corner, but it does help with the center rotation, so.
We'll keep an eye on that battle as we keep an eye here. Francesco Bernoulli going at it with Lightning McQueen. Battle for the 4th position. Jake Christenberry down low. And that is Adam Buzzio in the number 5 up top. You know, the theme lately in BRB has been everybody getting, well, I shouldn't say getting, but having kids lately. Of course, Adam's daughter was born last fall. Josh Conover's daughter was born, what, a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago now. Dustin Stallings welcomed, I think, honestly, he might be up to 2 kids that he's welcomed in during the time that we've been here, Zach. Scott Fritz recently had a child. Of course, he didn't. His wife did. But the point goes on. It seems like everybody is having kids in BRB lately, or already has one, young kids. This is maybe a precursor of what's going to happen in probably 10, 15 years in BRB. All the new young BRB crop coming up through the ranks and making their way onto sim racing. That could be cool.
I think you got a solid point there. There's a lot of discussions about kids in the Discord channels with these guys, and I mean, they're all Family Guys. Not to make a pun about Family Guy, but there's a lot of fun stuff they like to do to include their families, and I'm honestly really here for it.